what's up, guys? Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here on Destiny. And over the last week, a lot of people have been sending me messages and leaving comments on my channel, and there's been a lot of hoopla and general malarkey lurking about over the recently announced information that the next version of Destiny is currently being worked on. And there's a lot of people that are angry about this. And I'm sitting here, and I'm scratching my head, and I'm rubbing my temples, and I'm like, why the fuck would you be mad about this? Like, people are like, well, they have the DLC and the fixes and the support in the games. And I'm like, hold the fucking pony here, motherfucker. Weren't you the same group of motherfuckers last week complaining that there's future content inside of Destiny currently, and you're no longer gonna play this game, and, you know, Bungie hasn't released this yet, and, you know, they shouldn't be working on this, they should be working on Destiny, and now you find out that they're actually still working on Destiny, and you're like, I don't like it! Like, seriously, I don't want to get on anybody's ass here. I may be in the minority in this line of thinking, but let me break it down for you, alright? Bungie has always been upfront saying that they wanted to last Destiny for 10 years. And everyone got excited. There was hard nipples galore. I'm rubbing my nipples now, actually, while I'm just like, oh. But that's the extent that people read these articles, these interviews, all the pre-release media. It's like people see a headline on Kotaku and it says, Bungie to make Destiny a 10-year franchise. And people get online and they without reading the entire article, they spread the info. They're like, yo guys, did you hear? Destiny is going to be supported for 10 years. And they're like, what? And their buddies Google it and they see the top result says the same thing in the headline and it's from a reliable source. So, of course, they're not going to go and read the entire article either. This is how unrealistic expectations happen, occur, and get spread. And I like to call it selective reading or selective internet surfing. A lot of my teachers back in the day used to say, oh yeah, selective hearing, but I was actually half deaf and nobody knew it. They thought that I only heard what I wanted to hear. And people only read and see what they want to see because it's actually true. Bungie did say, they're like, yeah, we got a 10-year plan for Destiny, but that means two different things to a developer and a consumer. But when a consumer sees this, they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna buy this game, it's gonna be such a bargain, it's gonna be supported for 10 motherfucking years. And when Bungie says Destiny, they're talking about their franchise, not the game. So even before Activision picked them up as a developer, this was Bungie's plan, was to make one huge franchise span 10 years through multiple games. And this hasn't really been done on console yet. I mean, if you want to take a step back and look at, you know, another business model that Destiny currently mimics is World of Warcraft. Because like it or not, this game follows not only the same exact developmental, but design path as well. So you can expect from Destiny over its 10-year plan is, this is the base game, this is the introduction, what just took place this year. And then we're gonna get a few expansion bits to keep the vanilla portion of this game fresh while they're working on the next iteration, which is gonna be a huge expansion that introduces an entire area to a game. And that's gonna be Destiny 2. That's what World of Warcraft does when you see they add, like, ninja pandas on the TV. I don't actually play World of Warcraft, but when I see ninja pandas on the TV, it kind of sticks out in the back of my mind. That's gonna be Destiny 2. Instead of actually bringing out full expansions to the game, they're gonna be bringing out new games because you can't really do this on console. This is the first time this has ever been done. So instead of just, like, you know, updating the series like WoW would do, Destiny is going to have to do that on console because, number one, Destiny is made for last generation consoles, so you're not going to see anything major added to the series until this game is next generation only. Because you can't alienate the 360 and PS3 guys at this moment because, number one, we're still in a console switch every year, but they want these people to take their characters from the last generation system and move them over to PS4 and Xbox One for the next iteration, but they still wanted to give these consumers a chance to play Destiny while the Xbox 360 and PS3 is at the end of its life cycle. And like I said, you can't constantly update console hardware like it's PC, so each game is going to have to be a little bit more optimized than the next, while they're still pushing the limits of the current PS4 and Xbox One hardware. Because, I mean, when it comes to World of Warcraft, they can push this game as hard as they want, because they'll just be like, you should upgrade your PC, motherfucker. But they can't do that on the Xbox One and the PS4, so instead of bringing out entire expansions, the entire expansions is going to be another game. And I know people are going to be like, oh, but the game doesn't cost that much on the PC. You're right. But, you know, World of Warcraft also charges a subscription fee. So you got to look at it is, if you were going to pay $5 a month to play Destiny, guess what, motherfucker? That's $60. So even if Destiny only lasts 1 year, there's your fucking subscription fee right there. So this is why Destiny's expansion content was all done before Destiny. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm like, Bungie has a plan. And people are like, but the DLCs, this is an entire new venue for something that we haven't seen on console yet, but it's an actual, you know, business model that's been going on for quite a while on the PC. But you also got to look at, you know, when you're making a game, you want to make all the content at the same time. That way, all the voices, the texture, the models, they all match. Because I remember Borderlands 2, they made these Headhunter Pack DLCs, which were, if you guys want to fucking complain about DLC, this is the type of shit you should be complaining about. They sold us like fucking $5 DLCs that were literally like 5-minute DLCs and basically just a glorified head and skin patch. But anyway, they released these 2 years after the game was made, and you could tell that they weren't made at the same time as the original game, because all the voices and filters for the audio, they were all wrong. They sounded terrible. Pissed everybody off. That's why everybody makes fun of Zero. They go, wow, I sound like Keanu Reeves, because his voice actor's voice changed from Borderlands 2 vanilla game to the Borderlands 2 DLC. So if you're playing the actual game and you went from vanilla to the DLC, you're like, man, this doesn't sound right. And you'd be right in thinking that, because it didn't match. It was made, you know, way off in the distance. So that's why developers are doing shit like this. But Destiny's lifespan is gonna go like this. Destiny was released. They're gonna release expansion DLC for the next 18 months. Then we're going to see Destiny 2 released on a next-gen only. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit different, because you're going to be able to bring over your characters from last generation to the next generation version of Destiny, which are going to be the only two consoles out there. I know there are going to be kids that are like, but the PS3 and the Xbox 360 is going to last for years. No, listen, consoles die. They just fucking stop supporting them. I've been around for a long-ass time inside the video game community, and I've watched consoles come and consoles go. The only problem is that these kids, the Xbox 360 and PS3 are the only consoles that they remember, because they pushed this console generation so long. We used to get new systems like every 5 fucking years. You guys out here complaining that we get new games every year? We used to get a new system like every 5 fucking years. But anyway, after Destiny's release, we get our expansion content for the next 18 months. Then we get Destiny 2 on the next generation only, and that's where I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 2 or 3 years of expansion DLC out of Destiny 2 before Destiny 3 is released, because, you know, realistically right now, with Destiny being on both next-gen and last-gen consoles, they have to be working on the next version of it. But with Destiny 2, if it's only next-gen right there, then they can kind of milk that just a little bit more, because, you know, how much further can they push the PS4 and the Xbox One? They're already technologically behind at this moment when you compare it to the technology that's available out there. So it's possible that we could see a life cycle of consoles that come and go within 5 years, 6 years. That would be absolutely nuts. And maybe Destiny 3, like 5 years down the road, would be a launch title for that. Think about that. Wrap your mind around that. But yes, when fucking Bungie said, you know, DLC, this game's gonna be fucking released for 10 motherfucking years, I've been reading all about it for like the last year and a half. I've known that they were gonna make the DLC ahead of time. I know that they were gonna sell the season pass before the game was even fucking launched. And I knew that Destiny was gonna span multiple games over a 10-year lifespan. It's not just one game going to be stretched out for 10 years. It's one franchise over multiple games. And it's going to be just like World of Warcraft, but for consoles and with guns. And I, as a person that don't really like MMOs, I was originally scared at how they were going to, accomplish this later on in when it was released. But I feel like they're going about it the right way, and I feel like the whole hoopla and uproar, the general malarkey going on right now, I feel like people will get over that once you see more and more style of these games coming out on the console instead of just the PC. Like, once The Division comes out, a lot of people are going to have to get used to this type of model, because that's going to be following the same MMO/looter shooter, keeping it fresh with the DLC after release, but being made before release. That way it matches the goddamn fucking game! Right? I think that is. I think people just need to calm down and let Bungie do what they're doing. It's a fun game. Yes, I realize that it does have a content lull right now, but we haven't even reached our first expansion pack. So there's you guys that are out there that are like, I'm gonna sell Destiny. Why don't you put it back on your shelf, play something else? There's plenty of games. There's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare that's out. You got Borderlands, the pre-sequel. You also have GTA 5 with a first-person shooter mode coming for next generation console. There's plenty of other games out there. If you're feeling like that Destiny isn't hitting a spot for you right now, I would say it's too early to get rid of the game and just put it on a shelf and wait until the next expansion pack comes out and see how you feel about the progression of this franchise and this game and how it's going to handle, because I like it. I think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to be fun to see my character that I started all the way back in September, 3 or 4 years from now, in Destiny 2, beating ass at probably like level 60, fully decked out in fucking exotic weaponry and gear. And I know people are like, oh, but you can only put one gear on at a time. You think that's going to last? They're going to change that. They're going to bring more gear in, level caps and this and that. It's going to be hilariously awesome to see how our characters came from level 1 all the way through. And that's becoming legend, baby. So, my name is Jay, MorninAfterKill. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it, because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. So if you want to sit here and talk shit about Destiny and their 10-year plan, go ahead. But please, be informed. Go ahead and read everything you can before you start tossing shit out there by saying, oh, but this and that, and it makes my man. you gotta at least be a little bit informed. And then we can sit here in the comment section, because I do reply to your comments, and I can sit here and have a conversation with you guys and be like, oh, well, this is how I feel about it. This is how and then maybe if you say something and I get like that passionate about it, I go ahead and I make up another video. And this is how we keep the conversation going, even after the video's up and you watch it and you're like, bullshit, fuck this motherfucker. So, like I said, my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys later.